From the station working for you, this is Good Morning Indiana, streaming now.
It's Wednesday, February 10th, right now on Good Morning Indiana.
Controversy over a letter to Hamilton Southeastern faculty on the Black Lives Matter movement, how the district is handling issues raised by parents and teachers about the movement's discussions in school.
I did everything that they asked me to do. They just don't seem to worry about that you're not getting your money.
Hoosiers continuing to face challenges to get their unemployment benefits. We're looking into why a new ID system is making more people wait for their money.
Dogs can be used to detect cancer, diabetes, and maybe COVID-19 as well. I'm talking to a local group participating in the research.
And a new bridge project in Indy's north side is causing a dangerous situation for drivers.
Something really terrible is going to happen if somebody doesn't step in.
Working for you, the concerns from neighbors and what is being done to fix it.
On this Wednesday morning, our Todd Clausen has an eye on the radar. This is a Storm Team Alert Day. Todd, good morning to you and fill us in.
Yeah, Raphael, more snow's in the forecast here for the day today. And I put us in alert mode because of two reasons. One, some of the snow is moving in during the morning commute. And two, in southern locations, there could be a little bit of freezing rain that gets mixed in. You say, how in the world can we have freezing rain when the temperature's in the mid-20s? Well, the warmer air comes in over the colder air. So when it falls, it hits the ground and it freezes. Now, the freezing rain hasn't developed yet, but we do have this snow band from Seymour just now south of Bloomington into the Lake Monroe area. Another band pushing towards Bedford, and a stronger band that's going to be lifting to the north as well. Here's the mixing that's taking place. Hopefully it stays down there in Kentucky for the morning commute. And then this patch of snow that moves in during the afternoon hours. So we deal with snow off and on throughout the course of the day today. It's never going to be really consistent at any day part here throughout the course of this Wednesday. No snow in Bloomington yet. You can see the visibility is unlimited. Temperatures currently sit in the teens and 20s across the area. Definitely need to bundle up. Wind chill values are in the teens. And again, throughout the day today, snow showers off and on throughout the day. There will be some accumulation this afternoon in northern locations. More on that coming up in just a few minutes. Lauren.
Todd, thank you. Let's take a look right now at our traffic camera. This is I-70 here at Midhofer Road. This is over on the east side of town. You can see traffic is moving along up to speed. There, we do have a partially blocked ramp near this area. It's near Post Road. I want you to be aware of as you're traveling in the westbound direction on I-70. Stalled truck there blocking the exit ramp to Post Road. So keep that in mind if you're traveling on the east side, but no problems here near Midhofer Road. Let's take a look from our live drive vehicle. Our photographer Shay Goodpaster's in the driver's seat. This is a dash cam view on I-65 South heading near Raymond Street and Keystone Avenue. You can see the roads are clear from snow here in the Indianapolis area this morning, so that is good news. Of course, we'll keep you updated on any slowdowns for your Wednesday commute.
A school superintendent now apologizing for his letter to Hamilton Southeastern teachers, making that letter addressing the Black Lives Matter movement.
That's right. WRTV's Troy Washington joins us live to explain the concerns and the reaction to the new apology. Good morning, Troy. Seems like we have a technical issue over there. Moving on to this other story here, we have now to the latest on the COVID-19 pandemic and its impact on Hoosiers. Indiana reporting less than 2,000 new cases for the third day in a row. The State Department of Health shows 1,225 new cases and 67 new deaths. 211 deaths have been reported in February so far. We'll learn more about Indiana's status in Governor Holcomb's briefing this afternoon, Lauren.
The time right now is 6:04, a big step for Eli Lilly and treatments for COVID-19. The FDA has given emergency use authorization for the company's combination antibody therapy. The treatments uses the drugs bamlanivimab and another drug, which are administered together through an IV. It's shown to reduce the risk of hospitalization and death by 70%. It can be used on patients at high risk for severe illness. Lilly says that it has around 100,000 doses already available. They plan to manufacture up to 1 million doses by the middle of this year. Raphael.
Good morning to Martinsville, Franklin, and Columbus. WRTV, of course, working for you today and every day as many Hoosiers remain at odds with the Indiana's unemployment system. The Department of Workforce Development has a new identity verification system, all to prevent fraud. You see, Catherine Fleeter, she filed for unemployment the week of Christmas and went through the ID verification process. Now, for some reason, the documents she was required to upload were not verified. She says she called Workforce Development and waited 3 separate times to be connected to a video call to verify her account.
The third time I called, I decided I was staying on until I got through to somebody. It was 8 hours sitting on the system waiting for someone to connect on the video call.
The Fleeter says she finally got through that system at 4 in the morning. She completed the necessary steps and received an email saying her ID was verified. But now, almost a month later, she tells us she's still waiting for her benefits.
I can't believe that they think people should just wait. I mean, all these people are out of work, and you know other people have to be having the same problem.
So let's put this issue in its perspective. The Department of Workforce Development's commissioner has told us that 3 out of every 4 claims using the new system require some sort of additional processing because of the potential for fraud. We did reach out to the department to see what's going on in this case. The department tells us they are working to figure it out. Megan?
Raphael, help is on the way for residents in Hamilton County who are having trouble paying rent due to the COVID-19 crisis. And the county has awarded a $10 million emergency rental assistance grant from the U.S. Department of Treasury. This money will help renters who are unable to pay for rent or utilities due to loss of income from the pandemic. The funds will be given through the Westfield, Washington Township Trustee's office. They'll start accepting applications in the spring, Lauren.
Well, a much-needed bridge project on the north side is causing some dangerous situations because drivers aren't following a new temporary traffic pattern. WRTV's own Kelsey Anderson spoke with one woman who's had not 1 but 2 close calls since this construction began here in late December. Kelsey.
So the problem happening here on 86th Street is that those drivers that are heading west, they're ignoring this road closed sign and ignoring these barricades, basically causing a game of chicken between drivers who are doing the right thing and those who aren't.
The Indianapolis Department of Public Works announced at the end of 2020 that the bridge construction will begin here at 86th Street and Oak Landing Road. Now, because of that, this section between Oak Landing Road and Promontory Road would be a one-way street, and drivers heading westbound would have to take a detour. But despite clear signs and large barricades, some drivers are ignoring the new traffic pattern, causing very dangerous situations for drivers. Colleen Miller says she's had a driver come towards her head on, and with schools in the area, she's concerned young drivers won't know what to do if it happens to them.
People are putting convenience over safety. I'm a seasoned driver. I've been driving for a while, but I have a 17-year-old daughter that drives that way. And I don't know how she would react when given the situation of someone coming head-on towards her. Honestly, it could be a terrible accident, a head-on collision, or, even just running into the barrier. So, people just really need to heed and understand that, this is going to benefit all of us, and it's an inconvenience, but it's what they need to do to keep people safe.
In an email, a DPW representative tells me, quote, East 86th Street is clearly marked. While we strongly encourage everyone to heed and obey all posted detours around construction projects, Indy DPW is unable to enforce inappropriate decision-making by drivers. Working for you, Kelsey Anderson, WRTV.
Follow those signs, Kelsey. Thank you so much. And working for you on this issue, we reached out to IMPD to see how they're monitoring this area to see if more can be done. Well, they say oftentimes incidents like this go on apps like your Nextdoor app, but it never makes it to police. So if you do need to report a traffic complaint, you can complain to IMPD by going online. Just go to indy.gov. Raphael.
Now we want to bring you that story I mentioned at the top of the newscast, and we apologize that sometimes the cold weather does impact our news gathering equipment. A school superintendent now apologizing for his letter to the Hamilton Southeastern teachers, addressing in that letter, Megan, the Black Lives Matter movement.
And Raphael, WRTV's Troy Washington joins us live now to explain the concerns and the reaction to the new apology. Troy, good to see you.
Good morning. Now, unfortunately, some are saying that the damage is already done and they're not ready to accept the apology. On Monday, a letter went out to faculty members over concerns that parents had about teachers advancing the Black Lives Matter movement. Now, on Tuesday, an apology was issued, but a lot of people just aren't ready to accept that.
I don't know really that there is a moving forward with him in particular. I think it's probably a good thing that we're at this point where there is going to be a change. I just don't know how you fix what he's done.
Before this incident, the superintendent already announced that he would be retiring after this school year. Now, that group, they're urging people to stand in solidarity with them for the remainder of the week and wear black. Reporting live, Troy Washington, WRTV.
All right, it's a WRTV Storm Team Alert Day. As you walk out the door this morning, there's not a whole lot going on right now. Some of you here in southern locations are dealing with some light snow that's moving in with bands moving through your neighborhoods. But overall, the morning commute's pretty quiet across the area. Things will change off and on, though, throughout the day, and that's why we're in alert mode for you. Some light snow approaching Bloomington, moving through Seymour. You get a little bit of a break. Another band of snow making its way into Bedford, and each one of these bands could put down a quick little coating of snow. But northern locations, not really seeing a whole lot in the way of snow action right now, but this will continue to lift to the north, and then this afternoon some more intense bands of snow will start to make their way into the area. So it's just one of those days where it's not going to be snowing at all times, but at times you will have to slow down on the roadways. So for your morning commute, I think we're fine on I-70, I-74 here throughout the course of the morning hours and even into the early afternoon. I'll just highlight I-65 southbound as you work your way south of Columbus. This morning you get into some snow showers, then you maintain the threat of snow showers in all locations here later on today. So I think it's this afternoon when the roads could get slick in spots. We'll break down who sees the most snow for you coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, Todd, looking forward to it. Thank you. And the Senate has voted to move forward with former President Donald Trump's second impeachment trial. What we can expect from this afternoon's proceedings.
And a new executive order will welcome more refugees into the country. What this could mean for those of us who live right here in Indiana. That story and much more on this Wednesday on Good Morning Indiana.
Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana. It is 6:15 on this Wednesday. Raphael, this afternoon, former President Trump's second impeachment trial will continue.
It all begins at noon, Lauren, and Newsy's Stephanie Liebergen. She breaks down the Senate's vote to move forward and what we can expect beginning later this afternoon.
Morning business is closed, and the Senate will convene as a court of impeachment.
The second impeachment trial for former President Trump kicked off Tuesday. The focus of day one, whether the Constitution allows the Senate to hold the trial after Trump left office.
Given the framers' intense focus on danger to elections and the peaceful transfer of power, it is inconceivable that they designed impeachment to be a dead letter in the president's final days in office, when opportunities to interfere with the peaceful transfer of power would be most tempting and most dangerous.
Following a video presentation of the crimes in the Capitol on January 6th, paired with Donald Trump's comments that day, the House managers focused on the need to hold Trump accountable for the actions he took while he was president. They cited the past impeachments of Senator William Blunt and Secretary of War William Belknap, whose impeachment trials were held after they left office. Trump's defense team argued the House impeachment process was rushed and lacked due process for the former president. They also said Trump's comments at the January 6th rally are protected by the First Amendment.
We can't possibly be suggesting that we punish people for political speech in this country. I've seen quite a number of the complaints that were filed against the people who breached the Capitol. Some of them charged conspiracy. Not a single one of them, I noticed, charges conspiracy with the 45th President of the United States.
Trump's lawyers also said the House manager's presentation caused them to change their plan at the last minute.
I'll be quite frank with you. We changed what we were going to do on account that we thought that the House manager's presentation was well done. And I wanted you to know that we have responses to those things.
After arguments concluded, the Senate voted 56 to 44 to proceed with the trial. 6 Republicans joined the Democratic caucus to vote yes. Tuesday's vote was actually the second time senators weighed in on the constitutionality of the impeachment trial. On January 26th, Senator Rand Paul forced a vote on the same issue. At that time, 5 Republicans broke with their caucus to support moving forward. The Senate trial will continue Wednesday at noon Eastern. The House managers will start using their 16 hours to present their case. Stephanie Liebergen, Newsy, Washington.
Stephanie, thank you. Both of Indiana Senators Mike Braun and Todd Young, they voted against the trial's constitutionality. Senator Braun, he tweeted a statement saying that he has been against the impeachment trial because Mr. Trump is no longer in office. He says in part that Democrats and Republicans should be uniting the country over COVID-19 and the economy rather than dividing in this trial.
Raphael, a new executive order will impact people seeking refuge in the United States. Last week, President Joe Biden signed an executive order to rebuild the U.S. refugee resettlement program. The change raises the annual cap on the refugee admissions to 125,000 people. Last year, fewer than 12,000 refugees came to the U.S. Exodus is a local group that assists with resettlement in Indianapolis. Now, the group's executive director says this change is a win.
We lost a lot of staff, a lot of institutional knowledge during these years, not just us, but many agencies, and some agencies shuttered completely.
Last year, Exodus welcomed nearly 175 refugees to Indianapolis, helping them resettle their lives. And time now is 6:19. Todd, it is a good day to bundle up.
Yeah, you know, you need to bundle up and be on the lookout, especially if you're traveling this afternoon for some more snow that'll be heading in our direction. 2 waves of precipitation moving in. One is currently this morning. That's the light one in southern locations. It gets heavier this afternoon and a little more widespread. And then in far southern locations, some mixing will be possible with a little bit of freezing rain. More on that in just a second. Right now, everything on WRTV Storm Team radar is in the form of snow, and it's these bands of snow that are making their way through parts of central Indiana. This one's kind of weakening as it approaches Bloomington and Nashville, falling apart to just a few flurries. This is the second band of snow that you've seen in Bedford, as well as Seymour, that is lifting to the north. And overall, this storm pattern over the past week or so has put us just on northern fringes of the main areas of low pressure. That's why we've just kind of had these periods of snow off and on compared to a very prolonged period of snow with a bigger storm. And it's the same today. This is the wave of snow that kind of comes through, a little uneventful here this morning, but what's unorganized here off to our west, that's what gives us the accumulating snow later on this afternoon. However, as you look down towards Kentucky, some freezing rains approaching Louisville. Some of that could sneak into our far southern counties here throughout the day, so be aware of that. If you see rain in your neighborhood, it is freezing rain because temperatures will not get above a freezing. And in Kentucky, it's a major ice storm. I would not recommend any travel south today if that is in your plans. This winter weather advisory is still right along the Ohio River, but look at the rest of Kentucky in this dark purple. That's ice storm warnings that are in effect, so it's going to be a rough go of it just to our south. So that leaves us on the cold side of things, mainly on the snowy side of things. What I'm expecting to happen today is very similar to what happened yesterday morning with that heavier band of snow in southern locations where you saw several inches. It's probably not as intense today, and it's a little further north, but it's this area just north of Indianapolis that has the best potential to deal with these snow showers as they move through. Again, it's not going to be a steady snow for several hours. It's going to be some intense snow showers that move through, then a break, then some more snow showers. But within that band, about 1 to 3 inches of snow on either side of that band, though, generally an inch or less of snow, again with some icing mixing in there in far southern locations. We're in the teens and 20s this morning. Definitely need the heavier coat, the hat and gloves, although it shouldn't be very far away because you've been having to use that really for the last week and a half. Wind chills are in the single digits. Highs today, once again, only going up into the teens and 20s across the area. Now, going forward in this forecast, some snow showers linger tomorrow morning, then a break from the precipitation over the weekend, but it gets very, very cold. 10 on Valentine's Valentine's Day, a low of -1. And then as we get into next week, the weather pattern is going to change. Remember I told you we were on the northern fringe of a lot of these storm systems? Well, as we get into Monday and then Tuesday, we could have a bigger storm system, and by bigger, I mean a larger storm system with the potential for more snow as the weather pattern starts to change. More moisture will be available. More on that as we go forward throughout the week. Lauren.
All right, Todd, thank you so much. Let's take a look right now at your roads from our live drive vehicle. Our photographer Shay Goodpasser circling back around, heading northbound on I-65 near Southport Road down there on the south side. You can see northbound traffic is traveling smoothly. No issues to slow you down. We just had a disabled vehicle in the southbound lane near Southport Road. It was blocking a right lane, but not creating too many delays at this early hour. Of course, we'll continue to keep a close eye on your roads for your Wednesday. Raphael.
February, Lauren, is American Heart Month, and every day right here on Good Morning Indiana, we'll share a tip to help you and your family stay healthy. Today's tip: reduce your stress levels by taking on big problems one step at a time. The tips are all part of the Go Red for Women campaign, sponsored by the American Heart Association. As we take a live look on this outside on this Wednesday morning, a big good morning to Crawfordsville, Carmel, and Cicero, all great places to call home in Indiana. You're watching Good Morning Indiana right here on WRTV.
Welcome back. Time now 6:26, and this is the point in the newscast where we talk about what's trending. Lauren, how about you kick it off?
All right. Well, it is a cold day out there, you guys, so we want to warm you up with a heartwarming story, and this one's really sweet. Beloved longtime Jeopardy host Alex Trebek's stylish wardrobe will be passed on. Trebek died in November at the age of 80 after battling pancreatic cancer, and the show's executive producer announced that Trebek's clothes were donated to a charity organization that helps the homeless. In his final episode on the show, Trebek reminded viewers, quote, to open their hands and hearts to those who are suffering,
cool.
end quote. Yeah, just a great guy.
Okay.
Love that story.
Yeah, if he had any shiny suits, I'd buy them, you know, and donate the money to an auction, right? But that's an awesome thing. Cool guy, an icon. So listen, staff members at the Brookfield Zoo in Illinois had some fun in the cold this week. Check this out. They did the Frozen Pants Challenge, and that's since the temperatures were so low, employees were able to freeze their clothing and then stand up in their uniforms in front of various animal exhibits. They posted the pictures with the bison, the polar bear, the llamas, and the sea lions. The pants also showed up at the iconic Southgate Line statues. Of course, we are very thankful, right?
That polar bear is like
looking for all those. Yeah, what's going on?
He's looking. He's like, where are the hands that feed me? I don't see the hands that feed me here. All I see is the shirt and the pants. So, all right, outside right now, we're dealing with some snow showers in southern locations. It is a storm team alert day because we're going to be dealing with these snow showers that you see on radar right now in Bloomington, Seymour, down towards Bedford through the morning commute. They could put down a quick coating, but there's more snow showers that'll be with us, especially as we get into mid-morning and then the afternoon hours, where we could see over an inch in most locations. There will be a band just north of Indy, I think, of about 1 to 3 inches of snow that is going to set up. So it's going to definitely be more difficult getting around this afternoon compared to this morning. This morning, it's just those snow showers to the south that you have to be aware of. Temperatures today, not going to do much. Common theme here across the area. Highs only in the mid-20s.
Todd, thank you so much. And getting through to the IRS is hard if you didn't get your stimulus check. This morning, John Matarese shows us how you can claim it on your taxes so you don't waste your money.
Many people who feel they should have gotten a stimulus check last year or the second one this year are still empty-handed. Now you can wait and wait, or there's a much simpler way to claim your money. Well, many of us have finally received both our $1,200 stimulus check and the latest $600 check.
We did get ours, yes.
Many are still waiting for at least one of them.
No, not yet.
You didn't get one this year yet?
Not yet.
The good news is there's now a very simple way to claim the stimulus you didn't receive when you file your taxes. This year's 1040 forms have a space, line 30, to enter your recovery rebate credit, what you received for stimulus. If you use a program like TurboTax, there's a questionnaire, and they'll ask you about it. If you got nothing and qualify, the $1,200 or $600 will instantly pop up in your tax refund. But from the Doesn't That Stink file, the IRS making things confusing once again. The agency calls it a recovery rebate or an economic impact payment, which has confused a lot of people. That stinks. How about just calling the program a stimulus check? Oh, that would be too easy. Of course, a break on your taxes is nowhere near as exciting as seeing $1,200 pop into your bank account, but it's the easiest way to get it now, so you don't waste your money. I'm John Batteries. Good morning, Indiana.
From the station working for you, this is Good Morning Indiana, streaming now.
Now on Good Morning Indiana on this Wednesday morning, here's a look at your 6:30 news feed. At least one person taken to the hospital after an overnight fire on the southeast side. Crews tell us it happened near a homeless camp near Southeastern Avenue in Earhart. Investigators believe that a man was using a warming device that sparked a fire when he was trying to seek shelter. The man was taken to Eskenazi Hospital for treatment.
A bill to improve workplace accommodations for pregnant women is moving forward in the State House, but the bill approved by a House committee is a weakened version of the original proposal. The bill would have allowed women to request additional accommodations from their employers. However, they are already allowed to do so under the current law. A bill mandating pregnancy accommodations was one of Governor Holcomb's legislative priorities.
A Super Bowl champion is joining the Indiana University football staff. IU says Dylan McAuliffe will join the Hoosiers and as an associate head coach. He spent the last 3 years as an assistant with the Kansas City Chiefs. This is McAuliffe's second stint in Indiana. He served as the Hoosiers running back coach from 2011 to 2016.
This is a Storm Team Alert Day. Our meteorologist, Todd Clausen, is tracking an active radar. Todd, what's the latest this morning?
Yeah, there's some snow showers making their way through southern locations here, Raphael, and now some starting to develop to the north up near Peru and just north of Lafayette here as you work your way into Monticello. And this is going to be kind of the case throughout the entire day. It's not going to be a solid band of snow that's just going to be sweeping across the state. We're just going to have these snow showers off and on throughout today. Now, most of them this morning, as we mentioned, here to the south, just north of North Vernon right now. A few flurries here through the Brown County area, Nashville, and then eventually towards the Columbus area. A little heavier snow band once again moving through Bedford. That's your second one that you've seen so far this morning. And then a third one's going to be lifting to the north. But back off to our west, there's more snow showers, and that's what's going to come in later on this afternoon. So I know we're dealing with some snow showers right now in southern locations, but the bulk of accumulation is going to be probably late morning through the afternoon for most of us across the area. Teens and 20s this morning. Very, very cold out there. Wind chills are in the single digits. Highs today only get up into the 20s. And again, as we work our way from 11 a.m., I would say through about 5 p.m., that's when the snow showers will be the most numerous and also the most intense. We'll talk about the potential for accumulation coming up in Maine weather in just a couple minutes. Lauren.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. We have our live drive vehicle out monitoring road conditions for your Wednesday. This is a dash cam view here on the east side, traveling northbound on I-465 near Washington Street and approaching I-70. You can see traffic there is moving along up to speed this morning. No crashes or delays really around the metro area or across central Indiana to slow down your commute, but of course we're going to keep you updated. Raphael?
In the news this morning, it's a bridge project that is badly needed on the north side of Indianapolis. But some people who live in that area, Megan, say that the project is leading to some dangerous situations on the roads in their neighborhood.
That's right. Our Kelsey Anderson talked to one woman who says she's had some close calls since that construction started.
It has happened to my husband, my mother and father live in the neighborhood. And if you get on kind of our neighborhood next door app, I mean, there's just so many different incidences of this happening.
Colleen Miller lives in the Admirals area, and she's encouraging drivers to heed caution in Lawrence if they're taking 86th Street as the city works to replace the bridge that connects Oaklandon Road to the Admirals neighborhoods.
It's been a big concern in the neighborhood for years about, repairing or replacing the bridge.
She says the bridge repair is much needed, but some drivers aren't following the new traffic pattern while construction is underway. According to the Indianapolis Department of Public Works, East 86th Street has become a one-way road, and drivers can only head eastbound between Oaklandon Road and Promontory Road.
People are putting convenience over safety.
So the problem happening here on 86th Street is that those drivers that are heading west, they're ignoring this road closed sign and ignoring these barricades, basically causing a game of chicken between drivers who are doing the right thing and those who aren't.
I was driving home. I'm heading east on 86th to turn into the neighborhood, and someone came at me head on. I was able to kind of shift over to the side of the road, and they went by me. So that was the first incident. And then the second incident happened just about a week ago. It was during the day, and same situation, somebody coming head on towards me.
She tells me the signage and barricades make it clear the road is closed heading east.
I feel like people know that they're not supposed to be doing it, so I really believe at this point it's not a matter of not knowing, but it's a matter of not following.
In an email, a DPW representative tells me, quote, East 86th Street is clearly marked. While we strongly encourage everyone to heed and obey all posted detours around construction projects, Indy DPW is unable to enforce inappropriate decision-making by drivers.
The bridge isn't supposed to be completed until July. So, there's many more months of this, and I just think something really terrible is going to happen if somebody doesn't step in and have a greater presence and kind of stopping people from just disobeying, the rules.
Working for you, Kelsey Anderson, WRTV.
And we reached out to IMPD to see how they are monitoring this area. They say that while people often post complaints to apps like Nextdoor, these complaints never make it to them. There's a link at WRTV.com where you can send a traffic complaint to Metro Police, Lauren.
Well, 2 letters sent by a school superintendent. The second one, an apology. Next, we'll have a live report on why some teachers think their boss is interfering with their classwork. It is 6:35 on your Wednesday. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Some teachers are upset with their school superintendent. They say that he caused unnecessary confusion with 2 letters about how they talk about the Black Lives Matter movement with their students. Raphael.
This issue, Lauren, will likely come up today at a meeting of the Hamilton Southeastern School Board. Our Troy Washington is live with more on why some people are just not happy this morning. Troy?
Well, just to put it in context, on Monday, faculty members received an email because parents were concerned that members of the faculty were advancing the Black Lives Matter movement. That second email did involve an apology, but it also mentioned that this is one of the most significant issues of our time. Now, while some see it as a misunderstanding, not everyone sees it that way.
It's a social justice movement that needs and demands change in policy and demands systemic changes so that we can continue to protect unarmed, in this case for Black Lives Matter, unarmed, innocent Black men and women and children from being murdered.
Now, the group, they are calling for everyone in their community to wear black in solidarity of the movement for the remainder of the week. Now, the superintendent was already planning on retiring before any of this took place. Reporting live downtown, I'm Troy Washington, WRTV.
Troy, thank you so much. And they say the nose knows when it comes to man's best friend. Coming up, we'll show you a unique program where these adorable pups are learning to detect something that could save your life. Todd.
As you walk out the door this morning, we're dealing with some snow showers here in the southern locations. As we walk out the door here, we're dealing with some snow showers in southern locations, and they'll continue to lift to the north, but more snow showers will be moving in throughout the afternoon and into the evening hours. They're off to our west, so as you plan your day, I think the rougher drive is going to definitely be later on this afternoon. We'll break that down for you coming up in your WRTV Storm Team forecast.
Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana on this Wednesday. It is 6:42, and here's a look in the downtown area at the North Split from our tower camera. You can see from this view, everything looks to be traveling up to speed. Traffic picking up here heading into the downtown area. We'll keep you updated on any major slowdowns. Megan?
Lauren, thank you. We've been in the middle of a global pandemic for almost a year now, and event organizers are trying to decide if they'll need to make adjustments yet again to plans this year.
That's right. So what role can service dogs play in detecting COVID-19 at events? I traveled to a special spot for mutts right here in Indianapolis to find out.
What we do here is rather unique. Jennifer Katay is a scientist and animal lover.
Like to prove that what we're doing is legitimate, so that's why we contributed in the studies on diabetes and on seizures.
She's the executive director for Medical Mutts, an organization that trains rescue dogs or your family pet.
Good boy.
To assist humans with diabetes, seizures, or psychiatric conditions.
We train them with scent to detect either hypoglycemic episode or the onset of a seizure, or if somebody's going to have a panic attack.
Here at the facility, you can see dogs with noses to the ground using their keen sense of smell. Katay and her staff search for dogs with the right temperament and confidence at area shelters and rescues. And the dog must be food motivated. She also trains family pets if they have what it takes to fit this role.
That's it. And once they recognize that, we pair it with a behavior that is going to let the person know that something is going to happen.
And that early detection and alert can be life-saving.
A lot of people with diabetes fear going to sleep because they're not quite sure if they're going to wake up in the morning. And then if you have seizures, not knowing when you're going to have a seizure is terrible. Think about, driving is often out of the question, but even cooking.
Medical Mutts has been doing this work since 2013, and they keep learning. And so Katay says it's not a stretch to have dogs detect COVID-19, and that's why they're participating in a French study on this important topic. So I came out here to the northeast side to the Medical Mutts' new facility to see what role dogs could play in tracking COVID. Here's what they do know about COVID detection and dogs.
Several studies have come out already showing that dogs are very, very good at it, with somewhere around the 97 to 98% accuracy.
But more research is still needed.
Now, what we know is that they don't actually detect the virus, they detect the body's reaction to the virus. And is there a smell that is specific to COVID, or are we releasing a smell with any kind of upper respiratory condition? That we don't know yet.
So what's taking so long in this study? Two things: a difficulty collecting samples and the expense.
There is a lot of red tape going on and a lot of precautions to take.
Katay says they also consider how they would keep the dogs and their handlers safe in a public environment as they track for that scent.
And so if you're interested in getting a dog trained by Medical Mutts, maybe you want to ask about training your own pet that you already have at home, you can reach out to them by going to medicalmutts.org. Katay also tells me that they're helping people right now train their animals over Zoom in this pandemic. Raphael?
That's a great story, Lauren. I'd like to see that again. Wow, that's what they're doing with those dogs is awesome. So from those dynamic dogs to the lawyer who we could say had maybe some 9 lives. We've all had our fair share of snafus when it comes with Zoom meetings during this pandemic. It happened to a lawyer during a very critical court hearing in Texas. Take a look at this.
Mr. Pointe, I believe you have a filter turned on in the video settings. You might want to take
we're trying to. Can you hear me, Judge?
I can hear you. I think it's a filter.
It is, and I don't know how to remove it. I've got my assistant here. She's trying to, but I'm prepared to go forward with it. I'm here live. I'm not a cat.
I can see that.
Life. You have to laugh at these things, right? It's technology. Attorney Rod Pointe in Presidio County, Texas says he was using his secretary's computer and didn't know how to remove the cat face filter for his virtual hearing. The lawyer did get the issue resolved, which is a good thing, after about a minute, and he says he's happy that people got a good laugh out of his exercise in so-called feline futility. And on this day, Todd Clausen, we are facing a less than perfect forecast on the Storm Team Alert Day.
That's a very, very good way to put it, Raphael. I like your creativity there. Yeah, you're not going to be venturing outside at times here throughout the day today because we're going to be dealing with cold temperatures, we're going to be dealing with snow, and some of you may be dealing with a little bit of freezing rain. We've had some snow showers moving here through southern locations this morning. The second wave just went through Bedford, pushing through Guthrie now up towards Lake Monroe. US 50 here from Seymour, working your way way through portions of Jackson County towards Bedford, potentially going to be slick this morning. And then we have some snow showers starting to develop in northern Indiana. Right now, all the freezing rain is staying right along the Ohio River, so that's good news. But if you do see any freezing rain, which is a possibility in southern locations, just slow down. I don't think it's going to cause too much in the way of icy issues. It would mainly be bridges and overpasses. Then back off to our west, you notice these snow showers. Those are going to come through later on this afternoon. So it's not a solid band of snow that's going to be with us. It's these snow showers kind of off and on throughout the day that's eventually going to start to put down some accumulation. But if there is a time I need to pinpoint for you in a location, it is going to be mid to late morning through early afternoon here in northern locations as that band of snow makes its way through the area. And then as we transition into the overnight hours, it's just kind of some persistent snow showers that are going to continue across the area. So I think the heaviest band of snow is going to be just north of Indy, where you could see up to about 3 inches later on this afternoon. On either side of that 1 to 3 inch band, we're looking at generally about 1 inch of snow. And again, some icing could take place here in southern locations. So travel on I-70, 65, 69, 74 here could be a little slick later on this afternoon, so be aware of that and plan ahead if you're going to be moving out and about during the course of today. 16 right now in Peru, 19 in Columbus. Temperatures today are only going to get up into the low to mid 20s. It's going to be another cold day with wind chills that will be in the teens. Then as we go forward in this forecast, we stay in the 20s for Wednesday and Thursday, and then the temperatures are really going to start to plummet across the area. It's very, very cold on Sunday. In fact, as we head into the day on Sunday, wind chills are potentially going to be anywhere from about -20 to -30 degrees, and that's where they kind of stay throughout the course of the day. They ease up a little bit in southern locations, but it's going to be a frigid Valentine's Day all across the area, and that will continue into Monday as well as far as the bitter cold air goes. Now, the weather pattern I do think starts to change a little bit by the middle of next week, but to get the weather pattern to change, a lot of times you need to have a stronger storm system. We've just been dealing with these light snow showers moving through, giving us 1 to 3 inches like today, a little more yesterday down in those southern locations. But Monday into Tuesday is a storm that we'll have to keep an eye on. Could bring some more significant snow and precipitation to parts of the area. Lauren?
All right, Todd, thanks so much. We are keeping a close eye on traffic this morning as you head out the door. Here's a live look up on the northeast side where traffic's picking up at I-465 and I-69, the interchange up there. You can see things look to be traveling about up to speed. We'll keep you updated if there are any crashes or delays to slow you down. Let's take a look, though, from our live drive vehicle traveling westbound on I-70 approaching Shadeland Avenue. You can see traffic there is quiet this morning. Again, no major delays to report around the metro area, but we'll let you know if it will impact your Wednesday commute as the morning goes on. Megan?
Lauren, thank you so much. The government says they were turned down for environmental reasons, but a Muslim group isn't so sure. The reason the two sides are at odds. Plus, more of your top stories are next. You're watching Good Morning Indiana on WRTV. It's 6:54 on Good Morning Indiana. It's another WRTV Storm Team Alert Day. Meteorologist Todd Clausen will let you know when you might see some more snow. That's right after these top stories on this Wednesday morning.
Let's get started. A proposal to build an Islamic development in Hendricks County has been rejected. The project would have been just outside of Brownsburg, near Ronald Reagan Parkway and I-74. County commissioners say the site was not adequate for such a large development. The organization, Muslim Advocates, condemned the decision, calling it an act of bigotry.
A big step for Eli Lilly and treatments for COVID-19. The FDA has given emergency use authorization for the company's combination antibody therapy. The treatment uses the drugs bamlanivimab and another drug, which are administered together through an IV. It's shown to reduce the risk of hospitalization and death by 70%, and it can be used on patients at high risk for severe illness. Lilly says it has 100,000 doses already available, and they plan to make up to 1 million doses by the middle of this year. Megan?
Indiana Senators Mike Braun and Todd Young were among those who voted against moving forward with the impeachment trial of former President Donald Trump. Both voted for a failed measure that claimed the trial was unconstitutional. House Democrats argue that Trump incited the deadly riots at the Capitol on January 6th. The trial is expected to move forward today. Live coverage of the impeachment trial continues this afternoon right here on WRTV.
The Big Ten's basketball tournament is officially coming to Indianapolis. For the Pearl Street Pizzeria and Pub in Indy, that's music to their ears. It just sits one block from Bankers Life Fieldhouse. The owner says the news of more hoops in Indy is encouraging after the surge in business that they've seen following limited attendance at Pacer games. Now, we're still waiting to hear how many fans will be allowed at the Big Ten men's and women's tournament games, as well as the NCAA men's tournament games happening right here later in March in Indianapolis. Before we can embrace Hoosier hoops hysteria, Todd, we have to sort of embrace the cold weather. It is what it is, right?
Yeah. It is what it is. It's going to get worse before it gets better here. Unfortunately, we've been locked in with this really cold pattern with these snowmakers coming through. None of them have been all that major, but we continue to have snow showers in the forecast and some accumulation today. You see those snow showers right now from Bloomington down towards Seymour, then there's some more up towards Peru. As we go throughout the day, they'll become more intense and more widespread by midday and then into the afternoon hours. 1 to 3 inches of accumulation north of Indianapolis. I think the 3-inch totals are probably going to be pretty spotty, but definitely about 1 to 2 inches. And then on either side of that band of snow, we're looking at an inch or less with some icing taking place in some far southern locations. Going forward, some snow showers tomorrow morning. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday look pretty quiet across the area. It could be some snow showers on Saturday, but nothing major. But look at those temperatures Sunday and Monday, followed by a stronger storm system Tuesday.
Todd, thank you so much. We're back in 25 minutes and throughout Good Morning America with the latest news, weather, and traffic updates. We'll see you soon.